today's video, we're going to do a market scan session. Obviously, a big part of successful trading is to have a good process for scanning the markets. Now, after I've developed the RLZ slingshot indicator, I don't really do a lot of manual market scanning, but I wanted to do a market scan session here this Monday morning to show you the process of how I scan the markets, because even if you're using the indicator or not, you should have a good understanding of how to scan the markets and how to kind of mark out the levels and plan ahead for your trading week. All right. So the first thing I want to go through here is my watch list, and you can see it to the right here. What I have is the orange watch list right here. You can see orange list, and I've just added everything to the orange list, and then inside the orange list I have different section. I have section number 1, section number 2, section number 3, and then I have one says crypto and then new. And I just have this new because when I add anything new to this orange list, it's going to pop up down in the all the way down here in the new, and then I'm going to categorize this up into wherever I want it to be, right? So I'm going to move that to the second list, and let me go through my process here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to move, and I have open trades here. So all my open trades I move up here. Now these are not open trades, actually. I've closed them early. Maybe you've seen the journal review video that I uploaded yesterday. If you have not done that, you should definitely check it out. Going through the journal is a very, very important part of learning how to become a successful trader. So I highly recommend you check out that video. Probably going to link it somewhere here in the up here, probably. So let's move NZD/JPY and AUD/JPY down to the second list, and then we're going to move all of this, the first list, down to the second list as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to manually go through the second list and move all the interesting everything that might be of interest. I will move to the first section. And when I'm done with that, we're going to go into the next stage. And the next stage is making the first list as small as possible, with the end goal of having one small list that I'm going to continue monitoring throughout the week. And of course, we're going to try to add alerts in TradingView to every other pair, so that the way you're adding alerts in TradingView is you have to add the alert at a level at which, if price hits that level, it's going to become interesting. So you don't just have a lot of nonsense alerts popping up all over the place. You have to be organized with the way you're adding the alerts as well. So let's go through this. We have USD CHF. We're going to be starting with the 4 hour because my main time frames are the 4 hour and the daily. There's something about USD CHF. And in this stage of the market scanning, I don't really, go into deep detail of why I like something or why I do not like something. I'm just, if there's something that just catch my attention, I'm going to move it to the first list. So we got USD CHF. I like that one. Euro GBP, I definitely like this one as well, because we have, on the lower time frames, we have a good level here on the 1 hour that might get retested right here. But then, of course, on the 4 hour, the bigger picture, kind of like we have a good level here, complement with the monthly open. I like that. So we're going to move that up here. This one is in a good trend. And just because of the fact that it's in a good trend, I'm going to move it up to the first list. I've got AD and CD. Do I like this one? I'm going to wait for the... I guess this is not a trade right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add alerts like down here, because if price goes down here, I might be interested in a trade. And then if price goes maybe up here, I gotta look at it once again. And then we look at USD CAD. What about the USD CAD? Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. If it can come up and test this region right here, then we potentially have a short trade down to weekly open. And the reason why I like this level is obviously because if you add the fibs, you'll see that the reload zone and the reload zone is complemented with the monthly open, and the 50 is in a good area right here. So we're going to be moving that one up to the first list. And of course, if it dumps further down, we're just going to move the fib down, and the further down it goes, the less of a pullback we need. So we're going to move USD CHF, USD CAD to the first list. CAD CHF. Do I like CAD CHF? Not really. So I'm going to be adding an alert here. then we already have an alert here, so we're going to move that to maybe this level. And we might be interested in that one if it hits either of these alerts. So now I had GBP NCD. Do I like GBP NCD? It has broken the uptrend and potentially starting a downtrend, but it's still above the daily 50 EMA. So this is not a good trade, but I'm gonna put an alert right here and one alert up here, because if it goes down to the daily 50, I might be interested in taking a trade. And if it reclaims the weekly open and this general horizontal level and the 4-hour moving averages, if that happens, I might be interested in a trade. So now we have Euro JPY. Euro JPY actually looks like it might be a trade today. I mean, we can add fibs from that low to that high, and we see price hitting the reload zone beautifully. And in 1 hour, the 4-hour candle is going to close, and will actually be a trade. So I'm gonna place orders here. The weekly open is problematic. The weekly open is definitely problematic, but you know what? It's like it's 1 hour from here, so this might actually be a 1.5 hour trade, something like this. I actually quite like that idea. So even though it's a very small trade, it actually makes sense. So yeah, I like that. I'm going to move that up to the first list, and I'm going to take a closer look at that one after the first round of the scan. We got CHF JPY as well, making giving us a very beautiful bounce right here as well, and it pretty much the same setup, but that monthly open is lower, which is not a good thing. So we're going to move CHF JPY up to the first list as well. GBP JPY, interesting. So we're going to move that up as well. USD JPY, of course, that's going to be interesting as well. So right now we have JPY pairs looking very, very good, and we're probably going to be focusing on that one, JPY pairs today. CAD JPY, not as interesting, but we're going to be putting an alert up here and here, just because I can. US 30. I mean, what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling this morning, just by looking at the charts, is that USD is showing some signs of weakness, and risk assets seems to be moving slightly higher. So it does look like there's a good risk on appetite this Monday morning. Now, of course, that might shift in an hour or two. We never know, but we're gonna be looking at the trends. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to be trying to identify trends and trade those trends. USD 30, not moving that to the first list, but I am going to add some alerts here because I do think it's interesting. We got NCD JPY. This is the one that I exited early last week and now hit that last TP. It's a shame that I exited that one early, but it is what it is. I'm going to move that to the first list just because I got to keep on monitoring that one. Same with AD JPY. Let's continue. Euro USD, not interested, but I'm going to put an alert up here, maybe here. AD USD. AD USD is in a massive range here, but it also looks like it might break out and retest the range highs or something like that, and there might be a trend following trade here somewhere lower if it kind of retraces. So that's going to be a first list. We got ADCHF. So right by just looking at this chart, we are seeing this, right, a beautiful level right here. It might break and retest that one, but it's below the daily 50, so I'm not going to be able to take a short on this anyway. Maybe a long if it kind of break, if it stays here for a couple of days and then breaks out a retest, we might have the daily 50 lower. That might be a good thing. So we're going to be monitoring that. Now, one thing to note here is that, I have the indicator here, but I'm also going to be releasing videos within this, because this video is going to be part of that free trading course that I have on YouTube. And I'm also going to be recording videos on how to add, which other indicators you have to add if you want to be trading my system without this slingshot indicator. But of course, the slingshot indicator just makes it so much easier, and it gives you the signals, and it's just, for me, it's a lifesaver, right? But if you can't get the indicator, then of course you can just add these moving averages by using other indicators as well. So I'm going to be recording videos on that as well. So don't worry. Like I'm not giving you a system which impossible to trade without the indicator. So ADCHF, not going to move that one. A GBP CAD, I'm not moving this one to the first list as well either. And we're just going to be adding alerts. So yeah, this might be a long, boring video, but it's usually the long and boring videos which are the ones that you have to kind of focus on if you really want to take your trading to the next level, because some of the most important educational content is I mean, you're never going to become a profitable trader if you just watch, you know, short TikToks or you know, YouTube shorts or short 5 to 10 minute videos. It's about these long form educational content where I'm going through the whole process of market scanning and not just giving you some tips and tricks, but you see the whole process. And when doing so, I can share with you what I'm thinking when doing the market scanning, right? I think those are the highly valuable videos. Unfortunately, of course, it's not going to be the videos that are like highly engaged and gets thousands of views, but it's really the important ones. And for those of you who really care about developing consistent profitability in trading, these are the videos you need to focus on. ADCAD, it's you can see here that it's quite messy. We don't really know, like there's no clear direction here, there's no clear trend. We could say that it's basically a downtrend here, and we are now in the range, which might be a accumulation range, and we're going to get a break and retest of the range highs, and then a uptrend to form here. So that's the uptrend that I might want along. So I'm going to be putting an alert here, and then one alert lower if it, you know, creates a continuation of the previous downtrend. NCD CHF. What's the trade on NCD CHF? Well, at this point, I wouldn't say there's any trade actually. I'm going to put an alert up here, and then one a little bit lower. We're going to move on to the next one. NCD USD. Is this a trade? Maybe if it kind of breaks out somewhere in this area here. We're going to go down to the next one. Euro NCD. Well, we could say that this is like one big move, because that's probably one move on the daily. Yeah, you could argue that that's a move on the daily. Going to be removing some old drawings here. Yes, I'd say that this definitely looks like a decent level right here on the daily. It kind of makes sense on the 4 hour here as well. So what's happening here on Euro NCD is that we're getting a very interesting daily structure here, and you can also extend this to the left, and it's a good, so we're probably going to see a bounce here. And if we do see a bounce here, we are looking for a bullish break in market structure by breaking above this trend line, reclaiming the daily 20 EMA and the 4 hour moving average confluent with the 50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an alert right here above the 50. I'm going to move that to the first list. Euro AUD. Now this is obviously breaking structure. This trend right here is broken. You can also see on the 1 hour that it's below the reload zone. Not really looking that good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add an alert down here and one alert higher, and I'm not going to move that to the first list. EuroCAD, same thing here. It's just completely broken structure. One alert here and one alert here. Silver. Now silver does look interesting. Silver is actually looking quite interesting. We also had a long signal there this morning, 7 a.m. We had a long signal, and then we have 1 hour left till the close of this current 4 hour candle. That wick kind of screws everything up, and then on the, well, no, not a good trade, because what you have here is an uptrend, and basically you broke the uptrend here, and now there might be a bearish rejection here. So you're basically seeing a high, lower high, and a lower low. So yeah, this is a break in structure. I don't really like this, and that wick kind of destroys everything. There's something about silver here that I'm not liking. Maybe if it reclaims the weekly open, we might have some type of trade, like a break and retest of this area right here. And there might be a trade here, but I'm not sure. So we're going to be adding silver to the first list. We're going to be looking at gold. What is gold doing here? Now gold, I think gold might actually look better, because we might be able to put a fib here. Yeah, so there's something interesting going on with gold. So let's add that to the first list. NCD CAD, well, this is interesting, right? Because we now have, well, this is actually very interesting. So if we add a fib from that low to that high, we're seeing a bounce on the weekly open confluent with a 0.618. We are now in the process of reclaiming the 50% fib confluent with a decent support and resistance area right here. So the trade here on NCD CAD is very simple. We want to see a break above this level, somewhere, entry somewhere around this area. TP probably up here. We're going to look at the 1 hour, see where the best TP area is. I believe TP would be here, and then stop loss is going to be below the weekly open on these wicks. So that's a 1.65 hour trade. That's good because I have a win rate of between 55 and 60%, which means that everything above 1 is profitable. Actually, like 0.8 hour trades are profitable, but I'm trying to only take trades which are at least 1 hour to make sure that I'm profitable. GBP CHF. This is interesting. A pullback down here would definitely be interesting for a trade. So we're going to be adding some fibs right here to that high. This is interesting. I'm going to be putting an alert right here and move that to the first list. Euro CHF is notorious for just being stupid. So I don't know about this one. God damn it! It's actually showing a short signal. I take it back. I take everything back. This is it's a perfect short signal. So all right, so let's move that up to the first list. US 100. No. Maybe here. Maybe on a breakout. S&P 500. Nothing. Alert for a breakout, and then lower. UK 100. What's going on in UK 100? I don't know. Looks weird. German 40. Putting an alert on a breakout as well, and then below here. Euro 50. What's going on with Euro 50? I'm going to be putting some alerts here for the reclaim of the monthly open. GBP USD, that's that one. Well, this is going to be I'm not going to put any alerts on this one, but this is obviously a first list trade because, well, look at this. It's a beautiful uptrend. And whenever there's a perfect trend, it's on my first list. So finally, we have Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Do we have any trades on Bitcoin and Ethereum? Very messy Bitcoin chart, not really getting any, no trades on Bitcoin, no trades on Ethereum either. All right. So that's the first stage of the market scan. Now the next stage is going through the first list and refining this and making it smaller. Right, so do we like USD CHF? And in this stage, we also make plans for the trades that we like. So do we like this trade? Oh, it's giving us a short signal, and it's giving us a very interesting short signal, but it's actually on a daily support level. And if you kind of go all the way back down here and you extend this to the left, you'll see that it agrees with this general area here as well. So I don't think we should be shorting support here. I don't think we should just short support on the 1 hour as well. So yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to take this trade. So I'm going to move that to the second list. Euro GBP. Look at that. It's now giving us that rejection on the 1 hour. And I actually do think that this might be an interesting trade based on the 1 hour. But is it a good trade based on the 4 hour? That's the most important thing here. Because that's kind of like we can also look at the daily and add a level here. We got to ask ourselves, is this a good trade based on the 4 hour? And I'm not sure. I don't think it is a good trade based on the 4 hour. So we can only take trades based on the 1 hour if it's actually agreeing with the 4 hour as well. So yeah, this I don't believe this is a good trade. We're going to move that down. We forgot to add alerts, so we're going to be adding some alerts here as well, just to make sure it maybe in later today it might actually look good for a trade. Do we have something interesting going on here? You look at the 1 hour. Yeah, the 1 hour is actually looking really, really good here. So it traded. So what I like about this one is like there's the 4 hour trend is beautiful. The 4 hour trend is beautiful, and you have that high where price kind of. So you see the price actually went down, and price actually went down and hit the reload zone here, and then had a break in structure and started moving higher, and then it kind of hit the current bounce, hit these highs right here. So if you go into the 1 hour, you will see that you're also getting a long signal on the 1 hour on the slingshot indicator, because it's I don't really know where this fib is based on, but it's a decent long signal here. and it's on that level. So if I take a trade on this, I might have to incorporate the 15 minutes as well. And it does look good because you see that you have like a range here, and there's seems to be maybe a break and retest of range highs and consolidation here above that level. But if we take a trade on this one, it would be something like this. And we have to take profits here. Now, of course, you can look at the 4 hour and say maybe even break out higher, but that's going to be, so this is going to be a scalp, right? This is going to be a scalp based on the system, and the risk to reward is not even 1. So that is not a trade. Let's move that down to the second list. So now we have USD CAD. You know, I like this one, but it's just way too, obviously, this is obviously not a trade, and it's not going to confirm a trade in maybe even today. So we are adding alerts and we're moving that down to the second list. Euro JPY, this is a trade, and this is going to confirm itself in 47 minutes. And if it closes like this, I'm just going to add orders on the 50% fib. We have CHF JPY. This looks interesting, but it's too close to the monthly open. But we're going to keep this one on the first list because I do like it. GBP JPY. There's something I definitely like about this one, and I do think we can add a fib from that low to this high. And if you look at this, you'll see that the 50% fib is kind of confluent with the 4 hour moving averages. So, but it's a beautiful breakout area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be monitoring this one for a possible long trade based on a retest of this area right here. So the trade might look something like this, where we want to enter on the retest of that level if there's a confirmed bounce, and then TP would actually be around probably the weekly open, right? So probably the weekly open, and then stop loss somewhere around this area, and that's above 1, so that's actually good. Now it's a weird trade, but it's still somewhat interesting, so we're going to be keeping that on the list as well. And we have to have an alert here in case it breaks below the weekly opens, so that kind of alerts us to, you know, look at the chart, see if there's a trade setup. USD JPY is looking good. It seems to be a level. Seems to be a level somewhere here. Is this a bounce inside the reload zone? Yeah, I would say it's close enough. We do have candles down here, but you know, I think it's close enough. So what I wouldn't want to see here is something like this, and then unfortunately we would have to use the monthly open as our take profit. So we'll have to look and see if the risk to reward is even remotely good. It's not really great, but it's still above 1, so I kind of have to keep this on the list. NCD JPY, I'm going to keep this on the list, but down all the way down here, just because I want to monitor these two. When AD JPY hits that last TP, I'm going to record a video breaking down these two trades because they are really very interesting. All right, so AUD USD, what do I like about this one? Well, I'm just going to put an alert down here at the weekly open and then one above, and I'm going to move that to the second list because there's no trade to take on this one right now. Euro NCD, one of my favorite pairs. When it trends very, very strongly and just beautifully. Euro NCD is, I would say it's a long way from triggering, but it's still interesting. Silver, I just have to add alerts here on silver and gold, and I'm gonna move it down to the second list. Again, gold. Well, actually, gold looks interesting, so I'm gonna keep that on the list. NCD CAD is interesting, so we're gonna be adding an alert up here and one below. And you see the setups that I think are interesting. I usually have a tighter, like the alerts are closer to current price because they're so close to confirming, and I want to make sure that I don't miss a move basically. And then we're going to look at GBP CHF. Is this a trade? Potentially a trade, yeah. So I'm going to keep that on the list. And then Euro CHF is about to confirm a possible trade in 43 minutes with that short signal. GBP USD. I like it. I'm just going to keep it on because the trend is beautiful. And then we have AD and JPY. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 interesting pairs. So we have now gone through 43 pairs, and we found around 10 good ones with possible trades this week. And it took me about 25 minutes. And this process, you only really have to do it on Monday. Maybe you want to do like twice or maybe 3 times a week, but usually you only really want to do it on Monday, and you don't want to follow that first list. And then when it comes to taking the trades and executing the trades, I mean, it takes a couple of minutes. And this is really what professional trading is all about. This is most of the time I spend trading. So you could say that most of my heavy lifting in trading is like 30 minutes Monday morning. That's it. And even, when I'm using the indicator, I don't even do this. So to be a profitable trader, you don't have to spend a lot of time. You have to spend more time thinking about having, a balanced mindset and making sure that you actually follow the plans that you make during this market scan session. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Hope you like these longer videos where I go through the whole process of everything. Let me know in the comments below if you want more videos like this. And also let me know in the comments if you have anything specific that you want help with, anything specific that you don't really understand about the system, and I will gladly record videos and help you out with that. All right, guys, take care and stay safe. Trade safe and use a stop loss.